Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of October 2018, and that means it's time for a new episode of Ma1ne Snekky, brought to you live here on MSP Waves. And my name is Poetic Snake, and as always, I am joined by the most amazing radio voice ever, Mr. Main Event. Are you with us?
I am here, Snekky. How are you doing?
Ooh, I'm slithering fine, and how are you doing?
Doing wonderful. It's great to have you all here with us on Ma1ne Snekky, of course, on MSP Waves. And it is just after 6 p.m. here on the east coast of the USA. That means it should be 10 p.m. UTC time. What time is it in the Netherlands, Snekky?
Ooh, it's midnight. Scary time.
All right, so welcome to everybody who is tuning in this week, of course, to our show, Ma1ne Snekky. And what this is, it's a talk show that basically talks with the Steem community each and every week. We get to know different Steemians. We find out how they found their way to the blockchain, what they're doing here, and the projects they're working on, the communities they've joined, and just their overall experience using the Steem blockchain. And we are, of course, on MSP Waves, which is part of the Minnow Support Project. And you can find out more about MSP Waves by visiting mspwaves.com. There's a full schedule of all the different radio shows there, and they're all hosted by your fellow Steemians. So if you haven't checked out the full schedule yet, again, you can find that on mspwaves.com. Snekky, how are you doing? What's new in your Steem world lately?
I am slithering fine. What is new? What is new? Well, nothing new really, but there were some cool changes on STEEMIT itself that I really like.
What is that change that you discovered recently?
Oh, the hide the re-steam.
Yes, that's right. So if people out there haven't noticed yet on the STEEMIT platform, you can now hide re-steams on people's blogs, which is kind of useful because if you want to only see the content that that person created, including yourself on your own blog, at the very top now there's a little thing that says hide re-steams. And, a lot of people had been asking for that feature for a very, very long time. And, I definitely want to say thank you to whoever got that to finally happen on the STEEMIT platform, because I know personally myself, I had always wished that as a curator. Right, Snekky? And I know you'll agree with that too.
Oh, yes. I want to marry that feature for sure. I want to make it all mine. I like re-steams, but the fact that I could not hide it or whatnot kept me from re-steaming a lot. Right now, I will re-steam more because I can hide it. And when I go to people's pages, I click the hide and I see only their content, and that's just so easy when you curate and even if you just want to read their own work. So yes, wow, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I mean, because you want people to go to your blog, of course, right? But you also want to share other people's content also, just like you would on any social media platform. And this feature is just so nice that it just cleans it up. And I think little additions like this to the STEEMIT front end page are a great thing because it just makes it look better. It gives it more functionality. It does, as we were saying, it brings the original content to the forefront that that person is creating, which is probably what you're looking for in the first place. And of course, if you want to see the type of things they're sharing, you can just show the re-steams on their blog.
Yes, just one simple click, and it's something so easy but so effective. I really, like I said, I want to marry it.
So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and do so. If you're using STEEMIT as your posting platform for the Steem blockchain, check out your own blog. You can now hide re-steams, which again, it's gonna, like you were saying, you're probably gonna do more re-steams because of this addition, and I pretty much feel the same way that I'll definitely be more encouraged to do re-steams if it's not going to completely fill up my blog.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. It's not that I don't want other people content on my page, but yeah, it feels better if someone just wants to see my content that they can click one button and poof, everything else is gone.
So yes, big shout out to, whoever out there made that happen, but we're certainly happy about the change. What do you all think in the live audience? Let us know. And of course, you can join us in the live audience chat. We are using Discord, and we are in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server, which is the home of the Minnow Support Project. And we are chatting tonight in the MSPWaves audience room. So big shout out and hello to everyone who is chatting in there currently. I see quite a few people joining us. So hello and welcome. What do you all think of that feature? Do you think that was a good addition? Let's see here.
Ooh, I see Eon Warped created it. He is a boss, Crimson Clad, say.
All right.
I have problems talking today. I don't know why. I blame Shane because Shane is in the audience.
Hello and welcome to everybody who I see coming on in here to the live audience chat, hanging out with us on Discord. It's great to see you all here. And again, it is October 3rd, 2018. We're live here on MSP Waves. I do share the recording of the show, of course, also after the fact. So if for some reason you miss any of the show tonight, or if you want to go back and listen to previous episodes, I share those on my STEEMIT profile each and every week. And of course, Poetic Snake does a post before the show letting everybody know who we're going to be chatting with each and every week. So, of course, those are great options for getting the word out about the Ma1ne Snekky show, if you'd like to help spread the word.
Spread the word.
All right, Snekky. Well, before we get too far into the show, I think I'm going to play our little disclaimer, if that's okay.
Okay. You are listening to Ma1ne Snekky on MSP Waves. Everything you hear on this show is our opinion only and should not be taken as financial advice or advice of any kind. We are not financial experts or experts of anything. This show is intended for entertainment purposes only. MSP Waves and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or our guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of MSP Waves. The material on Ma1ne Snekky is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research.
That is very true.
You think?
I hope so. That's what we always tell ourselves. But yes, this show is, of course, just for entertainment purposes only. We enjoy getting to know all of the different members of the Steem community on this show. We have had the pleasure of chatting with dozens and dozens of different Steemians over the last year and a half or so that we've been doing this show. And so, of course, a big thank you to all of our previous guests. And we are going to have 2 guests for you tonight.
Really?
Yes. And
wow.
Of course, if you would like to be a guest on our show sometime, all you have to do is reach out to us on Discord. You can find us under the same usernames that we have on STEEMIT. It's Poetic Snake is her, and I go by the username Main Event. And so just get a hold of us either through Discord or on steam.chat, either one of those 2 platforms, or you could leave us a comment on a show post or whatnot. But get a hold of us, and we'd be happy to have you on the show sometime so you can tell us your Steem story.
Ooh, I like Steem stories.
They're all so interesting, that's for sure. People have pretty interesting ways that they find out about STEEMIT and the Steem blockchain, and what they're doing here, what they think of it, and it's always fascinating to me to hear all their stories.
Yeah, I really enjoy it as well. And everybody's story is, either slightly different or totally different. And yeah, every week is new, and I really enjoy that. So don't be shy, people. Contact us. Tell us that you want to really, really badly want to be on our show, because it's so much fun. And this is a lifetime opportunity. You should just do it.
It is fun. We enjoy chatting with you. So yes, big hello and welcome. I see more people jumping into the audience chat room. It looks like we are also broadcasting tonight, I believe, on Vim, right? Let me see here. Is there a link in the chat? Yes, vim.tv/@MSP-Waves. Globocop had shared the link earlier to the Vim broadcast that we're also streaming on tonight. So hello to anybody who is tuning in on the vim.tv platform.
Hello. fim.tv.platform. Now I'm scared again.
Snekky gets a little shy when she thinks there's more people watching, but we certainly are excited that lots of people are jumping in here. So hello and welcome.
Welcome.
All right. Well, we're about 10 minutes into the show here, and I see we've got quite a few people here in the live audience, so I think we are just about ready to bring our first guest onto the show. What do you think, Snekky?
I don't know. Is the audience ready? I mean, I am ready. Are you ready?
I think they're ready. Let's please welcome Farasim onto the show. Welcome, Farasim.
Why didn't you ask me if I'm ready?
Ready or not, here we go.
Okay, hello.
Hey, Farasim. So nice to have you on the show finally.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, and pleasure to be here.
Farasim, remind our listeners, in case they aren't familiar with you, just let us kind of know what country you're in, how long you've been on the Steem blockchain, and kind of how you found your way here in the first place, if you don't mind.
Well, the country I'm in is difficult. That changes pretty often right now. I'm originally from Germany. I've been on Steem basically since the beginning. I've been working on different blockchain projects for 6-7 years now, and yeah, since Steem exists, basically exclusively on Steem.
And, how did you ever find your way here in the first place? Do you remember how you found out about the Steem blockchain?
Yeah, definitely. I could. That will keep forever. It was, I would say, a friend, an associate. I'm not sure how you call that. We've worked together before on projects and on BitShares actually. The other blockchain by Dan Larimer, the developer who brought Steem with Net together. Well, it's a long story. Yeah, Fuzzy. Some may know him here. Official Fuzzy Vest are some of his accounts. I think he's with Whale Shares or something now. We don't have much contact anymore. Yeah, but he was close in the BitShares field, and that was where the word of Steem got around first. And he contacted me for technical support. And I had a look at the project and said, okay, I'll join there. I'll work for that.
Now, what was it about the Steem blockchain that, interested you, and what's, some of the things that are keeping you here now, almost 2 years later?
I always agreed with a lot of the views Dan brought into the blockchain field. He cared a lot for distribution. He cared a lot for for community, and yeah, when I read about Steem and all the community possibilities, and for me it was it's also, I've been working in the blockchain field for accessibility of the possibilities to mostly everyone, especially in underdeveloped regions or so. And I saw a lot of possibilities using the social media as distribution. So it just seemed to overlap a lot with my values. Can say that, I think.
Yeah, and it's been fascinating to me how this blockchain has really just created, so many opportunities for different people and ways for them to share their content, and make different friendships and networking opportunities. Did you ever think when you first, kind of found this blockchain that it would, evolve into all these different communities and things that it's become now?
No, the initial picture was very unclear, and where it will had the hope was there that there will be a big community, but that it spreads like this and as quickly as it did wasn't really foreseeable, I think.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to me to see how it's evolving all the time. I mean, even I'd only been here now about a year and a half, and it's come so far even in that short amount of time with all these, decentralized apps and other front ends and all these different ways to use the Steem blockchain. Are there any projects or things that you've worked on in your time being here, or things that you are currently working on that you'd like to mention while you're here on the show?
Well, I still kind of cling to my initial project. That's called PEVO, PEVO, which was thought to be an open access platform for scientists to publish and evaluate, peer review their publications. But we never, or I never by now found enough support from the scientific side. People who really wanted to dedicate themselves working on that, they're all busy with publishing. So that's kind of in a sleep rest mode, and I don't know if it will ever wake up from there. Right now I'm working on Steem Invite to make that work again with a new system, maybe prop it up a bit, but yeah, not many projects running anymore.
What is Steem Invite? Because that's something I'm not familiar with.
Well, that was used with the old create account by delegation system. You could send an email to a friend, including a link, and the friend would open that, could choose a username, could set a password, and ask for an invite or ask for an account, and then you would get an email that you can create his account. So invite system like Google Invites were a thing when Google was young. Which actually obviously doesn't work anymore with the new account creation system, because you can't just delegate 14 Steem anymore to get a new account. So that needs quite a bit of work to adapt to the new system.
Yeah, I'm personally, I've only ever had one Steem account myself, so I'm not even sure how you even make new accounts right now. Are you familiar enough to maybe talk to the audience about how that's changed from the old system to the new way it's done? Because I really am kind of in the dark on all of that as a Steemian. I don't know how new accounts are even being created right now.
Yeah, that was quite a big change. So the old system was that you had to send to send a minimal amount of Steem, like it was 0.1 most of the last time, and delegate the rest for the new account to be able to transact. That was set to 14 point something, 15 Steem power. Using that, you could create a new account and use that. Now you have to either burn 3 Steem, they are gone, or you can create an account free token, but only if you have a lot of RC mana. The actual cost right now is around 5 trillion or so. So it's only something for the really big holders. They get accounts for free, and the other ones have to burn their Steem. Yeah, we will see how that works out. How many small people want to invite friends or something. I may have to think of Fosse or something. But yeah.
So
you have to be big or pay right now, basically. That's the change.
Right. So the question then, I would be curious, so can the average Steemian who has Steem power, how would they even make another account for a friend or a family member right now with this new system? Like, what would they have to do? Is there a way to do that on STEEMIT, or do they have to use another website, or how would they even do that right now?
No, there is no website for that yet, I think.
Okay.
Maybe you can still use Steam Connect. Maybe they have updated something, but as far as I know, there is no interface to do that at the moment. You have to code.
I see. Okay. Yeah, because that's, I don't know. I mean, STEEMIT in Steam is one of these things that it's there's a lot to it, so it's not easy to just invite your friend or whatever and without at least explaining what this whole ecosystem is, and it's even hard to do that sometimes because it's always evolving and changing and things like that. But that is one thing that I'm hopeful for, is that it will be eventually an easy process for the average person to just join, get an account, and get some easy tutorials to walk them through the process of like what voting is, posting, and all these things, so that it will be an easy access for people. And I guess that's where I'm hoping it's going. I know different people will have different opinions about that, of course, but what is your opinion on just kind of the hard fork changes and things like that? Because you're a Steam witness too, right?
Yes, I have been, as I came from the technical side and started out with mining, I have been a witness right from the start, been in the top 20 a lot of time. But now, as all the projects are asleep, it doesn't make sense to hold me up there anymore. So there are better candidates. But I'm happy to still be a backup witness and stay around. And maybe someday I have an idea or a project or even a business developing. You never know. The changes in Hardfork 20 were, well, besides the account creation, because I don't really like that new system, but besides that, the changes were good and necessary, and the troubles were unfortunate. But yeah, about that we had enough talks, I think.
Yeah.
I like the changes. It's great. I love the RC system. It's calculatable.
Yeah, I mean, for myself personally, it hasn't affected my ability to post or comment or anything, but I mean, I've got an okay amount of Steam power, and I know I've seen a lot of people with smaller amounts of Steam power, though, getting quite frustrated, with the resource credits and things, but maybe there's hadn't fully recharged yet. I'm not sure, because of course it did take a number of days for everybody's voting power and resource credits to recharge and everything, but it does seem like we're stable now. I know my voting power is back to normal and everything, so hopefully everything is more or less stabilized after the hard fork, and yeah, it seems like things are improving. So big shout out
Well,
to
sure,
you guys.
it has become more difficult for small accounts to post a lot. They have to think. It's especially the very small accounts. So if you see, you can create an account with burning 3 Steam now. Those accounts have RC mana, like they had 3 Steam power. That's not much. They can, I think the last calculation was post twice, once every 2 days, so 3 times a week or something. That's not much. That's a huge change, but that was to be expected from the technical side of blockchains when you want to scale. And it's a hard change right now. I hope that can be done more fluently in the future, that it doesn't affect users from one day to the other and they suddenly have to change all their behavior. But yeah, it becomes harder to mine a currency that's just built into the system.
Right. So I mean, if you're out there and listening, and you've got a smaller account, it's not that they're trying, I don't think, to stop you from using the platform, because I mean, some people I've seen get really upset and whatnot, and they think that it's they're against the little guy and things, and I don't see it that way at all. I mean, it's just, if you want more access to the network, it's like you almost have to invest more Steam power, and that's a natural thing. I mean, if you expect to be able to post 10 times a day and do all kinds of comments and voting and re-steams and all these actions on the chain, it takes Steam power to do that, right? More or less. Is that the right understanding of it?
Yes, exactly. The resources the blockchain can offer, the amount of data it can hold is limited by technical aspects, by physical possibilities, and some point a line has to be drawn where you need to have an investment in the platform to be able to use it to a certain extent. Because if you have an investment, you don't want to bring it down. But if you don't have one, you don't care. You just take your money out and are happy. And there are a lot of ways to grow now. If you are a talented author or someone who delivers good videos or whatever, what you think you can provide on Steem, STEEMIT, whatever platform, and in value, show that. We have all these communities. New users need to learn a bunch anyway. They need to read. They need to know what they get into, and in the same tune, they can join a community, just have one post every 2 days with some good content, show that around, and they will find someone who will sponsor them or give them a big upvote. And it only requires one dolphin or whale recognizing you, giving you 1, 2, or 3 upvotes, and this posting limit is gone.
Exactly. And just to kind of expand on that a little bit, just in your opinion, as someone who's been on the platform for a couple of years, just if you don't mind, expand on that a little bit more, just because this show does air in the Minnow Support Project, which of course is a community designed, for helping newer users and helping Steemians interact. What are some of the things you think that newer Steemians should be doing, in their first, few weeks on the platform, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's kind of an issue I'm still thinking about, because for me it's always been about the minnows, or more not about the individual minnows, more about the distribution. For me, a currency, before the project I've worked in, also I've always tried to get into projects where the distribution can be as broadly as possible. With whatever your skill is, you should be able to participate in the economy using that skill. And yeah, that was one of the great things that drew me to Steem, and I've worked on that very long, until 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I was running a follow bot who upvoted basically 4,000 users a month or something, following other manual great curators, just to spread the distribution a bit. But that won't be possible forever in that way. That I tried it before, and it's getting more difficult and more difficult. So new users need to focus on their skills, need to get into the community or their sub-community where they fit in, and just STEEMIT is not an income right from the beginning. It has never really been, and it's getting harder and harder, and don't have too many expectations in that regard, but in the social regard more.
And, I've always tried to think about this too, of how would I share the Steem blockchain with someone who had no idea what it was? Would you take the approach of talking about the rewards, or would you take the approach of talking about, the networking, the ability to create content, the ability to actually get that content seen by people who may appreciate it and want to give you feedback and things like that, and then talk about the possibility of rewards? Because I think that is a part of the problem, is people hear about the possibility of rewards, and then when they get here, they maybe don't get the rewards that they were expecting, so it's kind of a lot of, unmet expectations, whereas they never even found their way into any of these Discord communities, or got to be a part of any projects, or made new friends, or things like that, because there is so much more here than just Steam power and rewards and things like that. There's a social aspect of this whole thing too that I think doesn't always reach everyone that finds their way to the Steem blockchain. And it would be cool if we could somehow find more ways to help those people who are new and that are just discovering the platform find out that there's so much more beyond, just rewards and how many times you can post and all these things.
Well, yeah, that has certainly to do a bit with the expectations that are set before, like the big banner on STEEMIT.com that draws people in with rewards and stuff like that. So it's difficult, but we have a lot of good points, like Minnow support, or the people in Steam chat are also still doing a great job and in introducing newbies to the communities. And it requires a bit of effort of people, and people that just come in and complain because they don't get the money, have to ignore them. Always had to.
Exactly. Again, everybody, we are chatting tonight with Farasim. And Snekky, are you still here with me?
No, I slithered away. I'm having difficulties with my Discord. My connection keeps turning red. I keep missing things. So I'm trying my best to be here and fully concentrate. There are a few questions in the audience, though. Do you want me to pick one?
Sure, if Farasim can see the questions in the audience chat too, of course, we'll let him decide which ones he would like to answer. But if anyone in the audience does have some questions for Farasim, Steam-related type things or whatnot.
Yeah, I didn't follow everything, so if you can just read one, I don't think I will evade. Or maybe, but I can evade if it's too bad.
Okay. Well, there's a question from Hope777. She's asking, why should we vote for Farasim as a witness? And as an extra question, she's asking if you are married.
Well, vote for me as a witness because I'm a trustable person and I will try to stand for a good development which includes as many persons as possible, as many people as possible. No, I'm not married, but I have a girlfriend.
All right. Thank you for answering that. And, I would add also you're someone who's been on the Steem blockchain pretty much since the beginning and you're still here. So, that's a important thing in my eyes. That means you've got a lot of experience. You've seen it through ups and downs and high prices and low prices, and yet you're still here. So, experienced people like that, I think, are great to have as witnesses.
Yeah, I'm scrolling down, so the next question is by M31. If I consider going back to pushing for the top 20, I'm not sure, because if I end up to be in the top 20 again, I have to work a lot more and have to set up all these servers again, and it's a lot more work being in the top 20. It would be an honor, and of course, if I end up there, but I'm not actively trying.
Yeah, and that's understandable because, from what I've begun to understand about witnessing and things is that it requires a lot of work. I mean, you guys do a lot of work behind the scenes, and we've had the pleasure of interviewing a number of witnesses over the last few weeks, and it's been awesome, of course, getting to know their stories and all the things that go on behind the scenes. And, you guys have a lot of late nights when there's problems and things like that, and so I just want to give some respect to all the Steem witnesses out there, that are putting in time and money and effort to keep this whole thing going. Let's see here.
There was one more question from, I have to scroll up. Everything is not working today. From Penderis, how does he feel about cross-posting?
And by that, I'm assuming he means like posting the same content on multiple platforms. I'm assuming that's what that means.
I think so, yes.
That's up to you, Farasim, if you want to take that question.
I don't mind it. I think it's the right of every content publisher to try to use as many outlets as possible. It's absolutely in their responsibility, and yeah, I don't really see an issue in it.
All right. Of course, if anybody has more questions for Farasim, let us know. Now, Farasim, are there other projects that you might have in the works, or things that you're planning on posting? Are you somebody that's a content creator yourself? Like, do you do blogging or anything like that on the platform?
No, I'm not a blogger. I'm not a writer. I don't shoot many photos. I can't do videos, so I don't do music. I'm a coder.
Hey, we need coders, so it's an
I've
important
been
job.
posting about things when I've been working about something, or political hard fork stuff or stuff like that, which relates to Steam when I really couldn't hold back my opinion anymore. But besides that, I work on things I deem useful. I think people will want and use and need. And if I can think of something like that, I build it. And then I talk about it. Now, after being out of the top 20 and having a bit more time, I started traveling a lot. I opened a sub blog for my dog, basically with some travel pictures with the dog in them. But that's pretty much asleep at the moment too.
I actually get a kick out of those when people make blogs for their pets and whatnot. I think I think those are fun. I get a kick out of those.
Yeah, it's Yucca Travels, if you want to have a look at it.
Sure, yeah, or if you've got the link handy, definitely let us go ahead and put it right in the chat if you'd like. Let's see here. Again, we are chatting with Farasim tonight, everybody. I'm sure Poetic Snake will share the blog link in the chat here for us. Thank you so much.
I'm trying to find the travel blog, but I'm not.
He just put the username in the chat. Juka Travels. Awesome. M31 is asking if there's any projects that you've seen out on the Steem blockchain that you're excited to see, or that you enjoy, maybe you enjoy using, or things like that.
I'm very excited for Steam Monster as everyone else, because I like projects that I used, and that one, yeah, excels in that category, I think.
Awesome. I haven't had the chance to check out Steam Monsters yet, but I definitely need to. I'm late to the party on that one. Yeah, and it's funny because I'm a card player too. I play TCGs and things like that. I just haven't had a chance to get involved in Steam Monsters yet, but
it's very hard to get around it. I think I also don't have cards or anything, although I'm a card player too. But no,
yeah,
I didn't buy any cards. But I've seen games streamed and stuff, so it's difficult to get around it.
Yeah,
especially when you hang around here a lot, where Agret promotes it
exactly,
a lot.
Exactly.
I'm not a game player at all, and I have cards because they're just totally awesome. I just wanted to have them all.
Yeah, I haven't gotten cards yet, but once it becomes a game, like a fully playable game, I'm sure that's when I'll definitely want to get in and play. So that's what I'm waiting for.
But you can't play on Wednesdays, though.
Are you sure, Snekky?
I'm very sure, because I cannot do this show without you. I will drag you from your Steam Monster cards and drag you into the show.
All right, everybody. Again, if you've got questions for Farasim, certainly let us know. We've got Crimson Clad in the chat showing some appreciation, so that's awesome. Hello, everybody who's just joining us.
M31, sorry. I thought you were done with that.
No, go for it.
Hello, everyone, he wanted to say, I think. Everyone who joined in newly. I'm Farasim, and M31 keeps me busy with asking questions about the D-Live situation, how we can trust D-apps after what happened. I think we should demand from D-apps that they go open source with their code. For me, there's no reason to not do that, except keeping all possibilities open for the future. And we're an open source community. We're built on open source software, and we shouldn't trust anyone who keeps his code back.
Yes, great questions, Em. I agree.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry for being German.
That's silly. We'd certainly appreciate all of you joining us here tonight. And so again, this is your chance. If you want to ask some questions to Farasim, we are taking questions in Discord in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server. We are right in the MSPWaves audience chat room. And if anybody's watching on Vim, if you've seen questions come in over there, let us know. Because I don't have that up right now in front of me. So people are asking questions over there.
I don't know. I cannot see it.
Let's see here. Farasim, are there any, we always ask every guest if they've got any kind of Steemian shout-outs they want to give, or if you want to give any just, kind of shout-outs to any communities or, other Steemians that you like to read their blogs or whatever. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to while you're on the show. We just kind of give every guest a chance to do that.
Oh, yeah, no, but that would be way too many. I love all of them.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially being here for over 2 years. When did the Steem blockchain officially get going?
It started with a mining phase without any interfaces, or in the real beginning, without anyone really knowing what's happening there. It was very secretive, and Dan had this strategy to let it sipper, I don't know, get it through the community slowly, the information what he built there, because he expected a lot of bots and stuff like that, and scammers and whatever, jumping in very early and screwing the distribution of the platform. That's why we have this fucked up distribution now. That was in April. Yeah, April 2016 then, right? And it took like until 4th of July until the first payouts happened. That was when it was really running and up for everyone.
It's always fascinating for me to hear the history of the blockchain, because so much has gone on and there's been so many changes. I mean, we've had 20 hard forks. It's come a long way in not a lot of time, and it's fun to see where we're going. I mean, every day is a new adventure here on the Steem blockchain. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I opened a calendar recently, or an app, which told me when I will be here for 1,000 days, because it will be 1,000 days I've been into Steem in 1,000 dramas, 1,000 new apps, new businesses, new opportunities, but also thousands of people failing and disappointments. So it's such a big world in this, in the end, very short time, but yeah.
The big thing, though, is like you said, is those opportunities. They had the chance to at least try it out, and hopefully they didn't lose money on the deal or whatnot if they invested or things like that. But that's why you have to do your research and things like that. But those of us that are just here using the platform, posting content, utilizing all of these different chat rooms and things like that, I'm very grateful for finding the Steem blockchain. And, it's certainly changed my life. It's given me lots of new opportunities to do things like this show and to interact with great friends and a lot of creative, talented people here, as we always say. And it's an amazing experience, and that's a big reason why we like to do this show, is to share those stories, to have people like yourself join us who have been here for a long time, and to tell us more about your experience and why you think it's valuable to spend your time here and things like that. And, of course, everything on this show is just our opinions and whatnot. And we, of course, also welcome new users. You don't have to have been only here since the beginning of time in Steem to be on this show. But, having someone like you on the show, I think, is valuable, because you bring a different experience to this show. And, I'm sure our listeners are glad to have had the chance to chat with you here tonight. And, it will be interesting to see where it goes from here. And, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure both of you would agree too. Let's see
Yeah,
here.
was really nice. I just saw in the chat that there was an amazing question, but I don't see the question anymore. So sorry, I was phased out for a bit.
Let me
I'm
see.
trying to see. Oh, is it this one from Mandelsage? Where do you see STEEMIT and/or similar content-based blockchains in 10 years?
Oh, that's an amazing question. Content on a blockchain is very difficult to handle. I think that there will be more. I think Steem has a very good first mover advantage, and with SMT is placed very well for new competitors, because we will basically flood the market with competitors as everything goes right, and they're all based on Steem. So yeah, looking good, and it won't go away. There will be many more applications, more use cases to be found out, but that's valid for the whole blockchain sector.
Yeah, we're definitely just getting started in this world of blockchain. I mean, it's still a very small percentage of the population that even have heard of blockchain and things like that, and cryptocurrencies and all of this stuff. So it's really still very new, this whole thing, and a lot of people think that it will change the world. It's gonna change a lot of our basic things that we do, possibly with money and with transacting and sending value and all of these things. And we're it seems like to me that we're on the cusp of big changes in our world, with all of this blockchain stuff. And social media, I'm sure, isn't going anywhere either. So it's only inevitable that these things merge, and we get this social media blockchain type thing. And then it's like you said, there's going to be other applications too that aren't blogging and sharing pictures. It's going to be some other thing that somebody hasn't even thought of yet, and it's fascinating to see all the ways that this blockchain can be used.
Yes, content on a blockchain was a huge step we took with that, and there are so many possibilities. I run a dice game, a gambling site directly on the blockchain, because with the 3-second time and everything, so you can really use this blockchain for near live transactions. That's awesome. I see a question by Greyland Grey about evergreen content. I feel I want to say something about that, because it's a huge topic amongst many people, and why the payout has to end after 7 days. And people that post content which is, in their opinion, valuable for a longer time need to find other income models. A blockchain cannot pay for everyone's content all the time through upvotes. That's just economically not doable. All the other sites on the internet which pay an amount of money, or all the other business models, are based on sales or on advertisement. And if you want your content to pay in the future, get SteamPress or something like that, and have your own blog running with ads. It's not possible in another way. We can't change how the world works.
And everybody, you are listening to Ma1ne Snekky here on MSPWaves, and tonight we are chatting with Farasim here on the show. Snekky just shared the blog link in the chat.
Oh, did you see how fast I did that?
You did. You were right on it.
Yeah, you said his name and I go, bam, there it was.
Yes. And let's try to keep some of the chat relative to the show, everybody. Just a little heads up to everybody listening out there. I see the chat's kind of getting derailed a little bit, so just kind of heads up there that this is the audience chat room. So if you got anything going on, make sure you move that somewhere else, please. Thank you. And again, you're tuning in on MSP Waves here tonight. And if you have questions for Farasim, now's your chance. And we don't want to take up too much of his time here. We've had him here for almost an hour, so now's your chance if you got any more questions here.
Mandelsage, no, I cannot explain SMTs here. I can shortly say it's basically you can and will be able to create a clone, a fork of Steem on top of Steam. That's a very brief description, but to go deeper would require too much time now.
There's another question that I also would like to ask, if you want to answer, of course. The Bug IQ just asked, I would love to know what advice you would give people who are trying to get projects off the ground, but just hit door after door after door, no coders, no devs, etc., etc.
Yeah, sounds like a general business problem. Coders depends on what kind of project you're running and what qualifications you need are hard to find. All over the world, people are looking for coders. Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
Yeah, it's a tough
Sorry.
one. It's a tough one. I mean, there's a lot of people I think that are here that have a lot of great ideas, and but they may not have funding and things like that, and it just takes time of finding the right people to try to bring all these projects together, and sometimes it can be difficult, but at least there is the opportunity to try here. That's what I keep telling myself, is that at least there's the ability to try if you want to try to build something here or become a creator and things like that. You at least have the platform, and then it's not only up to you, but it's up to you to at least put the first foot forward, and hopefully you can network and find people that can help you, but at least the opportunity's there.
The doors are wide open, even if they hit you in the face.
Right. There's always another door, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Generally, what is a good idea is to set up documents or PowerPoint presentations or whatever, something that really describes your business, your idea, and shows people that it can work, if you don't have that already. But that's a general business advice. So.
Sure. And we don't give advice here, technically, so.
Always do your own research.
Yeah, we're not experts in anything. That's a very important statement.
It is.
Yes. Don't listen.
We're always learning.
No matter what we say. Yes.
We were talking about that before the show. I was like, maybe I should take that line out of there. I don't know. It makes us seem a little too.
Please don't.
I like it. It's fun.
So important.
Oh, that's great. Everybody, again, we are chatting with Farasim tonight. Last chance for questions. Again, I don't want to keep him here too long. I know he's a busy guy, so let's see. Any more questions for Farasim out there? Or Snekky, if you've got any more questions.
Well, I just wanted to say that I shared a link to vote for witnesses again in the chat room. So if you want to go and vote for a certain witness, you can do that through that link.
Right. Of course, we're not telling you what witness to vote for, but as a reminder, because sometimes people don't know this, you can vote for up to 30 witnesses with your stake, with your Steam power. It's just you go to that link, and then you can individually vote on the ones that you would like to support. Of course, do the research on the witnesses that you want to support, but you can vote to up to 30 of them, and you can change your votes if you need to. If you decide at some point you want to change your vote, you can do that. But every Steemian gets up to 30 witness votes, so certainly check that out if you haven't yet.
Yes, it's very, very important, but I don't know anything.
Let's see here. All right. People are talking about us being experts.
Oh, what do we know? What are we good at? I want to know, please, so that I can put it on my resume.
Well, Farasim, while we have you here, are there any other things that you just kind of want to mention to the Steem community while we have you here? Just before we kind of say goodbye and wind down this interview here, are there any things that you wanted to talk about or mention that while you're here?
Oh, if this is kind of a goodbye statement, I want to say that Yuka and me will be on the Steamfest, and we're looking forward to meet as many people as possible there. So I know the tickets have been gone a bit expensive compared to the last ones, but if you compare it to other events, which run over 5 days and give that amount of program and food and beer and whatever, it's still very cheap, and I hope we can see everyone there. I'm giving away 2 more tickets in the future. Well, giving away. One will be giveaway, the other one will be a Steam Bay auction, but more details on that soon.
Is that post still, because you posted about it, about the Steam Fest ticket, is that still liable, or should I not share it?
No, that one is over already. I had one contest before, and I will have others soon.
Okay, so they will just have to keep a look on your account.
Yeah, do that.
Yes, follow, but obviously do your own research.
Yes. All right, everybody. Well, Poetic Snake, any other parting words here you'd like to give Ferrison before we say goodbye?
I just want to say thank you for jumping on the show. It was very not learnable. How do you say that, Ma1ne?
What's that?
That you learn from it.
Well, we're happy that he joined us on the show today. I certainly learned a lot. It was enlightening.
Yeah. Enlightening, yes. That was the word I was looking for. So thank you. And maybe in the future you can come again, because it was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, there have been a lot of questions. I didn't expect that. Thank you to everyone who's been participating in the questions, because I didn't really know what to talk about, because all my projects are asleep and I don't have anything to announce right now. But yeah, this went well. We can repeat it.
Wonderful. Well, we certainly appreciate you taking the time to join us. Again, everybody, we're chatting with Ferrison. You can find him right on STEEMIT under that same username. Poetic Snake has the link right in the audience chat room. So yes, thank you again, Ferrison, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. So that was our chat tonight with Ferrison. What did you think of that, Poetic Snake?
I found it very enlightening and fun and educational. Yes, I always enjoy it when people explain a little bit. I mean, I've been here a long time, but I'm so not a technical person. So when things get explained and you can learn a bit from it, it's really helpful.
Absolutely. And so we certainly appreciate him taking the time to join us on the show tonight. It's always, as I said, it's awesome having people on the show who have literally been here since the earliest days of Steam. Because I see so many people who are new, and especially with all these changes with the hard fork, they're frustrated and they're upset sometimes because of things that they might not be able to post or whatnot. But it's like to see how far this blockchain has come from the early days until now. And I mean, of course, there's still things that could be improved, and it's not perfect by any means. And, people will say, oh, well, it's still a mess or something, but there's always different opinions. But, it's come a long way. And to hear someone like him talk about, just the early stages until now, it's always cool to see that. I mean, you've been on here quite a long time too, Snekky. So, we kind of always have our own Steam veteran right here on the show every week.
I'm such an old snack. Yeah. Oh, by the way, sorry to keep you from talking anymore, but I think you should sing a song.
Sing a song? That's putting me on the spot. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, it's Carrie Allen's birthday, and
is she here?
Crimson Clad. Yes, she's here, and Crimson Clad just reminded us of that.
Right.
So I think we should sing.
Are you gonna help me?
Birthday?
Are you gonna help me?
Yeah.
You better.
Sure.
I won't sing if you don't sing with me, Snekky. You have to sing with me.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Ready? One.
Which song though?
Just happy birthday. The usual happy birthday. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
All right, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Carrie Allen.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo.
Woohoo!
You left me hanging there, Snekky.
I got you to sing. Sorry?
You left me hanging there a couple times, but it's okay. I made you finish.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I like to tease you.
Yes, happy birthday. That's awesome.
Yes, happy birthday, Carrie Allen. I hope you will have a magical day.
I said, whose birthday is it? It says Lexi
It's
Ma1ne.
Carrie Allen.
It's Lexi Ma1ne.
Oh, Oh, do we
Yes.
have to sing again?
No, I just saw that they were asking whose birthday it was, so. All right, everybody. Well, it's just about the top of the hour here. It means it should be about 11 o'clock UTC time. We've still got 1 hour to go here on the show, and we are going to have another guest here shortly, so stick around. You are, of course, listening to Ma1ne Snekky here on MSPWaves. As we mentioned at the start of the show, you can find the full schedule of all the different shows on MSPWaves.com. And there is a wide variety of different programs from lots of different Steemians. Some of them are music shows, some of them are talk shows, some in between. And again, you can find the full schedule on MSPWaves.com. A big hello and shout out to everybody who is listening to us tonight on Vim.tv. Of course, we do have a live stream going on there right now with the MSP Waves account. So hello and a big shout out to everybody that's listening on Vim.tv.
Can they see us?
No, we don't have our webcams on, Snekky. Although there's been requests for that. Maybe.
Maybe.
It's happened before, but not on this specific show. We've had D-Live curation talks and things like that where we did have the video on, so it's possible.
Yeah, but I was kind of hiding myself though.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm too shy.
You'll do fine, Snekky.
I know. You do too. But we have to do it with Christmas though.
Yes, we will. We'll keep that under wraps for now. But yes, each and every week on this show here on MSP Waves, we welcome different Steemians onto the show to kind of tell their Steam story. As you just heard with Farasim, he kind of told us about how he got started on the platform and things like that. So if you would like to be a guest on the show sometime, certainly just get a hold of myself, Main Event, or Poetic Snake, and we would be happy to have you on the show so you can tell us more about you and about your Steam story.
Yes, and we really enjoy hearing them. So, and sometimes people say, yeah, but my story isn't that good, or my story is boring. No. Every story is amazing, and we would love to hear every story on the platform so that we can go on for years and years to come. So don't be shy. Send us an inbox, and I promise Ma1ne will not bite.
She'll promise I won't bite, but that she noticed she didn't say anything about her. She's the snack here.
Yeah, bring apples and everything will be peachy fine.
Speaking of animals here, so we've got a snack currently. I see Squirrel Goat Llama has just shared a picture of a beaver here in the chat. And I think that's a little bit of a hint as to our next guest. Who might be our next guest. Yes. And that's not it's the actual animal, a beaver, so don't get naughty in your head now. Come on.
I wasn't being naughty, but you saying that. Oh, this is awful.
So, hopefully our next guest can hear us here in the broadcast room. So, let's see here. Where is he? B. Flanagan, otherwise known as Humble Beaver in the live chat here, is going to be our next guest here on Ma1ne Snekky. So I'm going to go ahead and move him into the live on-air room with us, and hopefully he can hear us. So 1 second here. All right, can you hear us?
I can.
All right, welcome to the show. What should we refer to you as? Because you've got your STEEMIT name and then kind of your Discord name. So what would you like us to call you?
Either one's fine. Humble Beaver's fun to hear. So if you want to go by that, that's fine by me.
Okay, but your actual STEEMIT profile name is just B. Flanagan, right?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's just my initials. Or my initial and the last name.
Perfect. Well, Poetic Snake just shared the link to your STEEMIT profile in the chat, so welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Yes, welcome to the show. Great to finally get to know you.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks for inviting me on.
And tell us more about yourself. How long have you been on the Steem blockchain? What country are you in currently? And how did you find your way here in the first place?
Okay, so I've been here for just about 6 months, so I'm still relatively new. I am from the United States of America in Texas. Big place, but yeah, there's a couple of other Texans here on STEEMIT, I think, or in our chat room here. And I think I think I found my way here. I found my way here probably the way that a lot of developers do. I work on mainly open source projects. And let's just say I was a clown without a circus. So I was doing a lot of projects with no income coming in. I was just doing it to make people happy. And after a while, I decided it was time to find some sort of income. Someone said something about utopian, and here I am.
And that's interesting that you kind of found your way here because of the Utopian project. So why don't you tell us a little bit about more how that project has affected your time here on the Steem blockchain?
So for those who don't know what Utopian is, it's actually they have a show on MSP. I think comes on right before yours. Actually, it's a project to support open source developers. Doesn't matter what they're developing as long as it's a long-term project, and you blog about said development in just in various ways. Whatever it is that you post, it has to have a GitHub account, so they only support open source programs. I think I already said that. I apologize. I got a evening drink and I put a little bit more gin in it than the mixer, so I'm a little bit there. So anyway, yeah. And once I found Utopian, I had to set up for Steem, I had to set up a Steem account, and then found it was much more than just a way to support my development, and that it was actually a community and a social network and everything else. So, yeah.
And so now that you're here and things like that, what types of projects do you plan on working on, or what types of things have you worked on that you'd like to share with the audience here?
Yeah, so first up, and probably the one I'm working on the most, and you can see a lot of posts for it on my blog that Snekky just put in the chat room there. There's a program called EduSteem. It's a educational program. It's actually both for teachers and for students. The idea is that teachers are able to create lesson plans and units and everything else that they do for normal school based on what I've learned from working for a school district and having teachers in the family and whatnot. And then and hopefully they'll be able to publish those onto the Steem network and pull them down and upvote and share and become a community in itself there. The other side of it is that most school districts have a very hard time. Well, they don't have a very hard time. They overemphasize reporting. Like, well, the parent needs to know exactly what the kids are doing. So EduSteam's other side of it is that it gives a automated report for the students, again, using the Steem blockchain, which will probably switch to SMTs whenever they're available to be used, to show the parents what the students are doing. And there's also the chance for the parents and the students the parents, the teachers, and the school districts, or whoever happens to have any Steem line around, they can upvote and give the kids a micro scholarship, is what I've been calling them. And the micro scholarships are, in the Steem. And then whenever the kid gets to a certain age, they could, assuming that it's still around, let's all hope it is, they can get it out for college or whatever educational expenses they might have. And that's the big one.
Yeah, no, and all that sounds all awesome and cool things that people can hopefully utilize and things like that. Are there Steemians that you've been collaborating with, or anyone that you want to kind of give shout outs to, or other people in other communities and things like that you want to give a shout out to while you're here on the show?
No, I guess just as blanket as it is, the Minisport community, you guys in general have all been amazing. I think that it's, you know, you hear it quite often from a lot of other people about, you know, you come for the rewards, you stay for the community. And just as welcoming as everyone has been just amazing. If I can, the Utopian community has been amazing in that they don't just upvote and supply a decent payout to whatever you put up, as long as it's good quality, of course. They actually give, well, at least a lot of them give good feedback. So it's like they become a better, they make you a better programmer. And I think that's something that's missing in a lot of other communities where it feels like, you know, and maybe not all open source developers, but for myself anyway, I found it, you all are kind of islands. You know, you work on your own projects by yourself and until it gets big enough that other people come in. And Utopian kind of gives you that just enough community where you still have autonomy, but you also feel like you have someone looking over your shoulder saying, hey, you know, it would be better if you don't do this, or, you know, you could make it better if you do this. And it's, I found it very beneficial.
Yeah, and you know, I think many people have similar feelings to that too, as far as the community aspect of Steam. And once they find their way into a community with people working on projects that they want to help with, or that they can find help for projects that they're working on, and just the networking and the social aspect of it, I mean, is huge. I know a lot of people, that's what keeps them here, you know, is this social thing that we have, you know, in the Discord communities and on Steam.chat and wherever people are finding ways to communicate. You know, that's what's keeping a lot of people here. And you know, it's great that there's communities like Utopian for developers and for people like that who don't, I don't know how to say it because I'm not in that community, but it's great that, you know, that there is a place for people to not only find coders, but, you know, for coders to kind of find places to network with each other too.
Yeah, totally. And I believe there was I don't remember who it was that said it about finding developers and not having any real, like, getting doors closed in your face. Sometimes if you look in the Utopian channels here on Discord, they actually have a lot about finding coders and finding, they actually have an idea channel where you can just post your idea and say, what do you guys think about this? Is anybody willing to help me get this done? And that helps, again, to build the community like Ma1ne was saying, and it also pushes more projects out the door, and we all want that.
And everybody, we are chatting tonight with Humble Beaver. That's what he's going by with on Discord, but it's B Flanagan on Steam. So certainly check out the Steam profile if you're interested. And of course, if you'd like to ask questions, now is your chance. I just mentioned it in the Discord chat that if anybody has questions for you, of course, we'll give you the discretion of which ones you want to answer or not. But if anybody's got questions for Humble Beaver, certainly let us know. I've got a question.
This is the time to do it, to ask your questions.
I've got a question.
Oh, really?
What inspired that name?
So I was expecting this question. Actually, my the first part, the humble part, came from a gaming community that I was a part of long time ago, 3 or 4 years ago. And the person who was in charge of the guild was able to give everybody a honorific sir, lord, whatever. And I was just like, man, I'm just here. And so they just put the humble. And so I was the humble at the time. I think my handle on that was like SomKit. So I was the humble SomKit. And then flash forward a little bit further, I couldn't use SomKit on another game because someone else already had it. And SomKit is SOMKIT. And not that that matters. The shorter story is that beaver was supposedly my birth totem, if that's even a real thing. Eagle Spirit could probably tell us if she's here. I don't know. Anyway, anyway, so it just became Humble Beaver, and nobody has it. So wherever I go, that just works, and I've just stuck with it. Yeah. So, and I have strong work ethic, I guess. If you want to put it that way. I don't know.
Well, that's cool because that's some other people were asking the same question. Like, how did he come up with a name like Humble Beaver? But yeah, that's a cool way to let us know about it. And then of course we've got some silly beaver questions like, what size stick do you like, and how big are your teeth, and all that good stuff. So, oh goodness, let's see. The live audience chat is getting interesting. Oh goodness.
I like Hive's answer the best so far. I prefer to be thought of as humble, and I do. So yeah, but no, the B is for Ben. It's in my Anyway, you do it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
Beaver.
if anybody has actual questions for Humble, certainly let us know here in the chat. Now is your chance to ask him some questions. Are there any, Steemians that you want to mention here that you're planning on, if you got anybody that you like to read their blog, or if you, just want to give some general shout outs to anybody while you're here?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess so. Putting me on the spot. But I do like Eagle Spirit's post quite a bit. I enjoy how in depth they are, and I'm still kind of finding my place, I guess. I often joke saying that because I am more of a programmer than I am anything else, I follow people that I don't have that talent. So artists and musicians and other things like that. Now I have onboarded a couple people that should be starting their blog here pretty soon. One is another first initial last name, Chris Schenker. I could put his thing he hasn't started yet, but he's going to be doing a lot of fantasy writing and things like that, which should be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, feel free to share anyone's Steam links right in the chat if you'd like. Let's see here. Any more questions for Humble here? Certainly let us know. Let me see here. Let me pull up your blog here. Snekky, are you still here with me? I don't know if I lost her. It's funny, Humble, there's another profile that's got your name spelled almost the same. And every time I spell it wrong, and it gets me to that profile. Let me see here.
Of course there is.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's like one letter different. Let me see here. Where's Snekky's link? I gotta scroll back here. Snekky, are you still here with me? Did we lose Snekky?
Yeah. Yes. No. My connection keeps going red.
Oh, okay.
So, do you like origami?
I do like origami. That's one of my if you look at my if you're looking at my blog, that's one of my hobbies. Yeah, and most of those are originals.
And wow, are they like dragons that I'm looking at, or is it more like space? Because wow, I see Nunu and Willem. Willem?
So probably the earliest one, latest one, was actually I played League of Legends for a while. Wasted too much time playing League of Legends, and these are characters from it, inspired by, I guess you could say. And yeah, the other ones, a lot of them are dragons. I actually have a dragon that I leave. It's my it's kind of like my breathalyzer. If I can't leave the bar, if I can't make the dragon, I don't leave the bar. And I just sit there and I call a cab or whatever.
Does it not frustrate you to build origami? I mean, I tried it and I really enjoy it, but oh my lord, it's also very frustrating when you mess it up and.
It's when you get to a certain point, it's more so when the paper rips, like when you're almost done, and then the paper rips, and you're just like, okay, maybe no one will see that. But otherwise, yeah, it was definitely at first. I could go on about how I learned how to do origami, but I won't, because we don't have that much time.
Are there other things that you like to share on your blog, that, you know, other hobbies or interests that you like to share on your blog?
Well, thank you, Chris. That's yeah, it's pretty cool. I wouldn't be able to make that one again. Sorry, answering the chat. And also, there was one from the Hive. So I used to had to go scroll up. I used to have a lot more time writing code, but EduSteem has taken a kind of a nosedive, and I also I have a few other programs. I have one called Wayfinder. You guys can also find that on my blog, which is it's a hybrid pen and paper game that's based around kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, or I guess you could say when I'm done with it, it will be a decentralized version of, because decentralized is the word we use for everything, for like Roll20, where you can play using augmenting your pen and paper game with mobile phones or laptops or whatnot. And I forgot what the other question was.
Let's see.
I only see things about stegosauruses and that you cannot lust for another man's dinosaur.
We got sidetracked with dinosaurs and steamosauruses and all these things. Yes. That's funny.
Oh no, it was other hobbies. Yeah, so I also do 3D graphics and 3D printing. I've made a lot of. I have not posted about that here on Steam yet. I probably should. I worked with a company called System 76. They're based in Denver, Colorado. They make computers and servers and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they're a pretty cool company. I was found by one of them, and I was asked to come up and make toys with them. And that was pretty awesome, because we made these little robots that you could like put together in various ways, and we 3D printed them, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, 3D printing is certainly an interesting thing, and yeah, if you were to start posting about that, I think people would probably be interested to learn more about it, because it's quite a process, and it's something that seems like it's only getting bigger all the time. And I remember when it seemed like it was science fiction before, and now it seems like the everyday person can just do 3D printing if they buy the right equipment. So it would be kind of interesting to learn more about that in your blogs.
Yes, I would love to read about it.
All right. Well, that gives me something to write about if I ever run out of ideas. Actually, I'll do it from time to time. Whenever I make a 3D thing, I worked with Christy Glass on one of her things. Just because we're here, there was one of my favorite features that I don't think it's on Steam but it's on Steam Peak, is the beneficiaries button. It is amazing, because when I work with somebody else, when I'm working with or collaborating, I like to use that to make sure that they get a little bit of whatever it is that I make using their original artwork or whatever.
And let's see here. People are just going on about 3D printing. They're sidetracked in the chat.
There are so many things that I would love to 3D print.
Right? Yeah.
Just because, I don't have any reasons for it. I just want to print them. I don't know why, but yeah, I like it. Teach us.
Again, everybody, we're chatting with, it's B Flanagan on Steam, but he goes by Humble Beaver here in the Discord chat. So make sure you get the two names separate. In case there's any confusion.
And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and maybe he will answer.
Maybe, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Chris wants to know if you can make an origami crocodile.
Probably, but not on air. It'll take me a little bit.
Yes, you have to do it right now. No.
3, 2, 1, go!
Just kidding. Now, when you create those origami things, do you use like a pattern, or do you make them just from your own imagination?
So sometimes there are, of course, there are books and things like that, and I take a lot of the, I guess you could call it like the core. Like a lot of the dragons are based on it's the bird base, the simple 3D origami crane that like everybody knows how to do. Anybody who's ever done origami has made the crane, and it's amazing just by taking that and iterating it a little bit, changing, going left instead of right with a fold or whatever, that you can completely change the outcome of the finished model. So a lot of mine are actually really simple. And if anybody that's in the chat has asked for tutorials, I apologize for not making them yet. They are coming, I promise. I just haven't had time. But yeah, so no, most of the ones I make now are actually from my imagination as opposed to a book or whatever.
Well, that's cool. I'm scrolling back through your blog, and yeah, some of those dragons look really awesome. So those are cool. Let's see here.
And to answer Soundwave, no, I cannot.
Why not?
An origami Steam logo. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I just like bend 3 little straw holder tubes into the little squiggles. That'll make a Steam logo. That would be my extent of my origami skills.
Mine would probably look like a toad or a frog in the end.
That's funny.
I cannot squirrel, but you can find one on STEEMIT. It was the one the collaboration with Christy that we did for the Power of Two contest. That was great. That was great fun. But yeah, it's there, and then there's a second one there. It's 2 parts because they limited the amount of characters I could have in my story.
And it looks like too, at one point you were actually doing videos of the origami, right?
Yeah, I did one. I realized after, it was like 45 minutes long or something ridiculous like that, and that's just too long. I'm not too sure how I can trim them down. Probably stop talking in them would probably be the first part, but I was trying to go at a slow enough pace that everybody could follow along, and after 45 minutes, most people were gonna stop watching.
Well, it depends. I mean, if they're really, really interested in learning how to do it, I mean, I think they would stick with it. It's another way to share that content for sure. Showing I always like when artists show the process in posts on Steam. Like for me, that's always like a really cool thing to see, because I'm not really an artist myself at all, and I like seeing the process, even if it's just photos of the process or even a video's even better. I've always enjoyed that.
Yeah, but I think it's also hard to decide what you want to do, because just like Beaver said, if you make a video and it takes too long, you lose your audience as well. So what do? Do you keep it short and simple? Do you go into every detail? It's very hard. So I always, I really have a problem talking today. I don't know why. I have not had a drink, by the way. And now I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, I always share pictures. I never made, I did make videos about the progress, but I never posted them anyways. I thought it was way too long.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Steam right now in general, is like, what content, are people interested in seeing? Are they there for just something quick? Are they going to read a longer post or watch a longer video? Things like that. And with so many more apps and things coming out that create shorter content, I don't know if the attention span is getting shorter. I'm not sure. I think it really depends on the content and the person viewing it. If they're really, like I said, if they really want to learn how to do origami, they're gonna sit through that video. If they're casual and they're just clicking through, well then no, maybe not. it's all relative, I feel like.
There's another question in the audience from Mendelsage. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go for it.
If someone wanted to build a dApp on Steam, but only ever did programming in high school, how easy would it be to learn to program, and what language is best to use?
I'm not going to be the best person to ask for that, because I make web apps from time to time, but most of my applications are actually not web apps. They still connect to the Steam network via dSteam or one of the APIs that are available for it. But I actually, because I truly want them to be used when they're not connected to the internet in a asynchronous manner, it doesn't quite work the same way that most people are building their dApps. But I do know that there are a lot of applications that are like that, and so there would be a better person to ask than me.
All right, well, thank you for that. And of course, if anybody's got questions, now's your chance to ask Humble Beaver here some. I don't know why I laugh every time I say that name. Or B Flanagan. That's the Steam name. So now's your chance to ask some questions. Let's see. Snekky's got the link in the chat, so thank you for that,
Yeah.
Snekky.
You're welcome.
What are some things that you're looking forward to or hoping that you'll see in the future here on the Steem blockchain? Are there any features that you're hoping to see get developed, maybe through Utopian or other people or whatnot? Are there things that you're hoping to see in the future as far as development of the Steem blockchain or any of the user interfaces or things like that?
I guess it would be nice to have. Well, I would say that my biggest issues. We'll start with that, and this is just the way that it works, right? I feel like STEEMIT is, if you really want to get a true picture of what Steem is, STEEMIT is still the best place to go. But I find that it is a little intimidating for new users. I think a lot of people have shared that view. But then I also find that other applications like Steam Peak, which is an amazing front end, doesn't show enough of what is available on Steam. So it feels like you're losing the content discovery for the ease of the interface. And I think that once we find a nice mix between the two, I think we'll really have something special. As far as things I would like to see developed or like just become a part of Steem as a whole, I think a lot of people have said they want to see games. And I'm in that camp. I think that my first love is game development. I've made a couple of them. Again, just a clown without a circus kind of stuff, where you spend countless hours to get accolades or get someone patting your back saying, "Man, that was an awesome game," but then nothing from it. I would love to see more games that actually use the Steam network. Gangs too, Chris. I think that if we got some actual gangs in here, I think that would be it might make for interesting content actually. But games, and then any sort of interfaces that help that happen. And then of course I think that even though everyone wants to believe, and you could like me or hate me or disagree with me, that's fine, about web apps being the future. They are, but it's still a slow march. I personally would love to be able to have a music player that connects to dSound and other applications that are Steam based and IPFS based, that work when I'm not connected to the internet. Like iTunes. It does have a web interface. You do connect to the internet. And you do download stuff from the internet, but it is not a web app. It does work locally as well. And I could see those being really game changing because it pushes it beyond, well, here's this D app that you have to connect to via the internet and you have to have great internet for it, to everybody can use this, and everybody becomes a part of the solution, especially with IPFS, because the more people that have the application, or excuse me, not the application, the more people that have IPFS running, the better the service works for everybody. And I think there's more to that question, but I don't remember what it was.
It's okay. Let's see here. All right. Anybody else have any more questions for Humble Beaver here? We don't, of course, want to take up too much of his time here, but we certainly appreciate him taking the time to join us on the show. So now's your chance. Any more questions for B. Flanagan, a.k.a. Humble Beaver, here on the show?
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about the special report of Amazon River?
That was so special. I didn't hear the rest of it. It was like kind of secrety.
She was slithering.
I'm sorry.
What was the question, Snake?
Oh yes. Can you tell us a little bit about the special report post on your account about the Amazon River?
Hold on, I have to figure out what you're talking about. Did you find the other almost B. Flanagan on? I don't remember writing one. A special report on something.
Oh no, Seamus, Liam.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, yes. My apologies. Yeah, no. So those are my kids and my students. They're my guinea pigs for EduSteem, and they are as a part of the program, and as we go forward, I have them do little things like that for to get them used to. One of the things, well, a lot of the that's a much longer story. But no, they are my guinea pigs, and I and my students and my children. So they're cheap labor. But yeah, they do special reports once a week. Sooner or later, that will come along with not just a video, but also a anyway. It'll come with an actual report of what they did during the week, as well as a video.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that is cool. So you do homeschooling, right?
I do. Yeah, it's wasn't what I intended. Like I said, I have my parents were teachers. Their mother's a teacher, but the school in our area was not able to handle my oldest child's needs, if you will. And because it seemed unfair to have one child in homeschool and the other one not, I took them both out.
Well, thanks for sharing, of course. And let's see here. Any more questions other than silly memes? I like memes, but if anybody's got any more questions, now's your chance. If not, we'll let this fine gentleman be on the rest of his evening, Mr. Humble Beaver.
You really do laugh when you say it.
That's the name. So, well, it's nice to have you on the show, to get to know you a little bit better. I didn't realize that you were, a coder and a developer and, involved in Utopia and things like that. So that's cool to learn. And, I'm sure we'll get to see lots of new projects that you're working on as we go forward here, and it'll be fun to see what you come up with.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was fun being on here. Oh, the Bug IQ, the best Beaver joke I've probably ever heard is actually the meme Squirrel Llama, Squirrel Goat Llama. Man, you change your name often. Posted it not too long ago. It was a meme about you confuse me for someone who builds a dam. I thought that was pretty funny. Most of them are relatively like the cat and the beaver looking up between the woman's legs. I thought it was nice. But I do have a question for the audience, if you don't mind, man.
Yeah.
There is one of my buddies, the one who writes a bunch of fiction, wanted to know if you guys would be interested in to be honest, it doesn't matter if you're interested or not. We're still going to do it. But I just want to let you guys know that we're going to start a podcast, kind of like GG No Re, just us playing tabletop games, mainly RPG games, and then doing reviews over the game systems. And so look out for that. It'll probably be under another account. I went on an account making spree right before the hard fork and made. I need to talk about that too. So anyway, there'll be a couple more of them. You can, if you follow me, you'll see them. I'll reshare them or re-steam them. So don't hide the re-steams for that reason, if nothing else. And I also have it'll be SOPTA, SOPTA, because I like to make people look for stuff that are hard to find. And the other one is V-Entertainment. I can drop all the links here in a moment or two, but I have to hold down the control key because that's what we do. And so it makes it harder. Anyway, that one I'll actually be doing game development how-tos using various open source technologies and things like that. It'll be mainly modeling at first, and then we'll go into actual game logic and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll foster more of a community in that area.
Well, that's awesome. And yeah, I'm definitely hoping to see, more people joining and finding more ways to share their content. And, someone like you who's found a wide variety of different ways to utilize your time here on the Steem blockchain, I think these are the types of stories that are great for newer users to hear, because they can understand that you're not limited to just one thing here. You don't have to only post or talk about one type of thing on this platform. There's a wide variety of things you can do. All right, everybody. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions rolling into the live audience chat here, so I think we'll kind of end it there. Poetic Snake, are you still here with us?
Nope. I slithered around the corner, and then I was poof, gone. No, I'm here. Of course I'm here.
Would you like to give any parting thoughts here to Mr. B. Flanagan?
Do you want me to tell you what I think about him? Or
Sure.
No. No, I just wanted to say thank you for, joining us on air and to talk about everything that you've done so far. And I hope that, we will see a lot more of you in the future.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun, guys. Yeah.
We'll kind of give you a chance here, Humble, if you want to kind of give a goodbye to the audience here, or any final farewells or any parting thoughts here for our live audience before we let you go.
Yeah, for everybody that's new, like I am basically, if I can, I guess, echo what everyone else is saying about just finding your niche. You don't have to find a niche necessarily. It is good to have a thread, I guess, in your blog. That's what everybody keeps telling me. I don't have a thread. I do art. I do everything but music, and I even have a ukulele that I'm trying to learn. It's not going well. But just be yourselves, and it'll come. And honestly, it's not necessarily about the payout. It's unless you want to look at it the way I do, and that's when I was posting on Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus or wherever it was, I wasn't getting a dime, and maybe I'm only getting 15 pennies here on STEEMIT on some of my posts, it's still more than I made on Facebook or wherever. So if you look at it from that way, it's still a gain no matter which way you look. And you guys are a heck of a lot more community driven than anybody that I've found on other networks. Well, maybe Twitter, but that's different.
All right. Well, we certainly do appreciate you taking the time to join us on the show this week. Poetic Snake has shared the blog link in the live audience chat here, and I'm sure she will do that one last time for us. There she is.
Oh, such a good Snekky. Sorry.
But yes, Mr. Humble Beaver, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this week.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I like.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing it again. I like that one too.
Yes.
All right, bud. We'll talk soon. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, everybody. So it's B Flanagan on Steam. So don't get that confused with the Humble Beaver Discord name. It's just B Flanagan on Steam. Snekky's got the link right in the live audience chat here. So if you'd like to check out his blog, certainly do so. Looks like he's got a wide variety of content on there with more things to come. So always fun chatting with a new person that I haven't got to know yet. So that was fun.
Yes, it really, really was. I can only agree with you there.
All right, everybody. So we've still got about 15 minutes left of the show. Thank you to all of you who have stuck with us here. We've had a wide variety of people in the live audience chat tonight. Let's go ahead and go around the world here while we've still got some people in the live audience. Let us know, where in the world are you listening from tonight? Just type out the country that you're listening from in the chat. And let us know where you're at. Where are you tonight? I'm over here on the East Coast of the United States. Where are you again, Snekky?
You really don't know where I am?
I do, but the audience might not know.
Oh, I'm in the Netherlands.
All right. So we've got the U.S. and the Netherlands so far. And let us know in the audience chat where you are listening from tonight. We always enjoy learning where everyone's tuning in from.
Well, the bug is from Canada, not from Kandahar. Whereas this is from Australia, Banderas, South Africa. Seaman is from Australia as well. I know that. Mandelsage is from Brazil. STEEMIT Photon is joining us this time from Jupiter, and I might pay him a visit. I like to see Jupiter.
Right. But yeah, let us know, everybody in the live audience, where you're tuning in from, and it looks like we're spanning the globe once again with our audience, so that's always awesome to see. It's truly amazing to me how many different people tune into this show and how we're reaching people literally all over the world. And to me, I would have never guessed that when we first started doing this show, that would have been the case. But, very grateful to everybody who takes the time to tune in and, of course, joins us as a live guest as well.
Yes, and Squirrel is joining us from Beaver Falls, Colorado.
All right.
M31 is from M31. I don't believe that.
Well, we got quite a few people to take part, so thank you to everybody who did take the time to let us know where you're tuning in from. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as we've mentioned a couple of times, we're always looking for more guests to be on the show. I think we're open for next weekend. I don't think we officially have anyone lined up yet, or next week, I should say. We don't have anybody yet, do we?
I was like, are we doing a show this
I don't know why I said weekend. That was, I got weekend on the mind. I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. I'm ready for that too.
But of course, if you're tuning in and you'd like to be a guest sometime, or if you know someone who you think should be a guest, certainly let us know. We love recommendations too, of course, because not everybody hears this show or knows about it. But if you know about any Steemians out there that are, working on projects or just someone you think should get maybe some more exposure to the community and things like that, let us know. We're always happy to welcome more or less anybody onto the show, as long as you're not a scammer,
No, no, don't be a scammer, please.
Yeah, please.
Please don't.
Please. Don't do it.
Don't, no.
At least don't come on this show, man. We won't go there, but anyway. All right, everybody. Well, this is Ma1ne Snekky here on MSPWaves. We've got a few minutes left, and let us know how you're all doing out there. What's on your mind? What projects are you all working on out there? If you've got a post you want us to check out, go ahead and put it in the audience chat right now. You've got a free reign to spam a link here. Just one. Only one. We'll make a rule on that. So if you've got a post you think other people should take a look at, put something with the link too. Like at least type out a sentence or two letting us know what your post is that you're sharing and why we should take a look.
This is a good post. Read it. Nope.
Mandel Sage says he was about to ask me how I am doing. I'm doing all right. It's been an interesting few weeks. Certainly been very busy in my own personal life and things, but as fall season is approaching here and getting closer to winter, I won't be as busy anymore. So I'll be able to spend some more time with the Steem community, either in Discord and doing some live streams and things like that. So doing well, can't complain.
Are you ready to build a few snowmans?
Yeah, we were talking about that in the pre-show. It's October, and here in northern New England, where I am, we could start getting snow anytime, really. We're always grateful if we don't get snow before Halloween. That's always a good thing. The kids don't have to trick or treat in their snowsuits, And then if you make it to Thanksgiving, which is in November here for us in the States, then you're doing really, really good. So we're basically...
When is Halloween?
Halloween's the end of the month, 31st. So.
Oh, do you know what day that is?
Yeah, so I'm hoping for no snow anytime soon, but we'll see.
Are we going to do a Halloween special?
I don't know if we're going to have a show that day, actually, Snekky. We may have to take that week off because I might have some family commitments that day, actually. So we'll see, though. We'll certainly let the audience know ahead of time.
Yes.
But yeah, take note that possibly on October 31st we might need to take that week off. But we will be right back the following week. So. Snekky lately's been not wanting to do the show, I don't think.
Oh my God, that's so not true. I every week I tell him that I'm going to quit right before the show, just to tease him, but I would never do that. Maybe next week. I'm not sure yet, but after this.
And Snekky has a new show, actually, that she's going to be doing. So why don't you tell the audience some more about that?
Yeah, are you going to turn the mic over to me?
I am.
That's scary. But yes, coming Monday, the Buck and I are going to start our new show. And it's going to be called Monday Madness Curation. It's our own wacky way to create great content and highlight awesome Steemians. It's going to be fun, funny, and a little wild. So you might, bring apples and join us. And it's starting at May 11 on that's European time. I think it's our show starts at 10 UTC, right?
Yes, this show is at 10 UTC.
Yeah, so it starts at 9 UTC, and it's in the Snekky server. So yeah, it would be fun and cool to see people joining us there for some fun curation and a laugh.
All right, so it's going to be Monday night, but that's not in this server. Okay, you got the link right there. Our Bug's got the link to the server.
Oh, yeah, I was just checking for the server link, but thank you, the Bug.
So people can check that out Monday night. Farasim says you have to do a Snekky solo show on Halloween.
I will do that if Farasim joins me. I think that's a good deal, right?
It's possible.
Yeah, I cannot do this alone, so I need someone to keep the show going.
Remind the audience a little bit more about what You Got Snacked is.
You Got Snacked is a curation project that I started in January this year. First, I started it alone because I won a nice SP delegation from minnows. Make a minnow from MSP, and I wanted to use that for good. So I started this little creation project, and it slowly became bigger and more fun to do so. And then I asked a few people to help me out because I like to work together with others, and together we want to spread a love on the platform and also do create good posts, undervalued posts, new member posts, but also maybe a little bit different from all the other creation projects. We don't stop when you hit a certain rep level, or if you are a minnow, a plankton, or a dolphin, or a whale. Everybody deserves curation if you write a good post. But it's turning into this nice little community, and it's growing, and we're starting to do a few shows, not too much, because there are already a lot of shows going on. But yeah, we are about community. We want to help each other, work together, and be there for each other, and not always think about the technical sides of things. Just have a good time, a place where you can be without worrying, and just be you. And also, if you need help, we can help you out as much as we can. We try our best to do so. And yeah, we have a lot of curators doing great stuff as well, helping out with other projects. And yeah, I really love it. So everybody feel free to join if you want to, if you want to. And if you don't want to, still do it, because it's just fun. And now I see a goat beaver.
I know, it's getting wild in the chat. If you've got the link to You Got Snekky, because I know you created a separate Steem profile for the compilation posts, right?
Yes, we are using that. At first, I started on my own blog, but it didn't feel right anymore. So we created a blog for it. I will grab the link 1 second.
And everybody, you have been hanging out here with Main Event and Poetic Snake here on MSPWaves. Again, we are here each and every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight UTC time. And there is the link right there in the chat for You Got Snekky. So if you're interested in checking out the curation compilation posts, they come out, on Tuesdays and Fridays, right?
Yes, twice a week, every Tuesday and every Friday. And I try to post around the same time, but sometimes life happens. But
right.
And last week we did not post because of the hard fork and etc. etc. So we started again this week.
Safe to say, I think most projects were offline there for a week, but I think most things seem to be back up now.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
All right, everybody. Well, we've only got a couple of minutes left here. We certainly want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us on the show. Again, if you missed any of the show, we do a recording of this, and I share it on my profile each and every week right after the show. So you can find that there later this evening. We always appreciate your comments on the posts. We like hearing your feedback. So if you've got any suggestions, or if you just want to just let us know what you think of the show. Those show posts are a great place to do that. We, of course, always appreciate re-steams and any support you want to give us. We're both active curators on the platform. Snekky, of course, has the You Got Snekky project, and we both are curators with OCD, and I curate here with Minnow Support Project. So, we always appreciate your support, because we are active out in the community, trying to help original content creators and, just do what we can to support the community. So thank you to everybody who does support the show and support us as curators.
Yes, thank you ever so kindly. Means the world.
Of course, everything you heard on this show tonight was strictly just our opinions. This show is provided just for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and nothing you hear on this show should be considered as financial advice. Of course, MSPWaves and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the show hosts or our guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of MSPWaves, and the material you hear on Ma1ne Snekky is provided just for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only.
Always do your own research.
That's right. So we do appreciate all of you taking the time to join us. Snekky, you want to say some final goodbyes here real quick?
Yeah, goodbyes. Bye, people. I hope I will see you all next week. Come back.
That's right. I'll always come back. We will be here next Wednesday night, 10 to midnight UTC time, here on MSPWaves. This is Main Event and Poetic Snake saying so long, and we will see you next time. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great night.